and welcome to Jothishi.com. Today we are going to continue with the Nakshatra series and discuss more about the Ardra Nakshatra. Today let's continue with our Nakshatra series, Anand,
Yes.
and let's discuss the next Nakshatra, which is the Ardra Nakshatra.
Yes.
Placed in Gemini, right?
Yes, yes.
And ruled by Rahu. So can you give us some like how we did it in the previous examples,
Yes.
right? Like where we took celebrity examples and we discussed about profession, career, relationships. What
Yes.
type of a person is planets with Ardra in?
Yes.
So can we maybe start with that?
Yes. So Ardra, it's known as Tiruvadirai in southern part of the country. And for example, in Tamil Nadu, Tiruvadirai. In Kerala, it's called as Tiruvadira.
Okay.
So it is ruled by Rudra. So Ekadashi Rudras. So there are 11 Rudras. So it's ruled by Rudra. Rudra is known to be um, the other form of Shiva, right? So Shiva is peaceful and yourself and connect with nature kind of a thing. And Rudra is the denoted by the god of storms, winds, and those kind of things. So anything which is very aggressive kind of a thing is denoted by Rudra. So Ruk Draveti Rudraha. So anything got to do with elimination of sorrow and ushering of peace is represented by Rudra.
Okay.
So for example, you would have noticed, right? So when we do something very excessively, our system sort of responds back and then tries to clean the system. So for example, you smoke too much, you drink too much kind of a thing. You either enter a stage where you catch a stage cold or a stage wherein you are not able to breathe kind of a thing. Doctor gives you 10 days of antibiotics. You're advised to take rest.
Right.
That restoration. So similarly with drinking, right? So drinking, liver sclerosis and those kind of things. So the entire cleansing of the system is denoted by Rudra. So in nature, anything which has got to do with thunder, lightning, and after the thunder, lightning, you would find that it will be peaceful the next day. That is exactly what Rudra does. Rudra, when the system is too much, negative energy, Rudra sort of comes and then cleans the system and then makes the system very clean kind of a thing. So that is the beauty of this particular nakshatra and Rudra in general kind of a thing.
Okay.
So Rudra is also sort of called Bana Hasta. So Bana means the weapons, bow and arrow. So he is also a hunter, and so you would have seen scenes in various movies where it's thunder, lightning. The hero comes in the horse. So Bahu. So Rudra is also Ardra is also related to Bahu. It's also called another name is Bahu. Yeah. So it's fantastically, that scene is perfectly correlated with a Rudra kind of a setting, wherein thunder, lightning are going and then arrows are shot and those kind of things. That particular scene, or Rudra also means to shout or cry in a particular. The voice is slightly different. So you would have noticed in many movies where the setting is, for example, movie like Nayagan and those Kamala Hassan, the way he shouts, that scene is sort of completely related to the Ardra nakshatra kind of thing.
Okay.
So that clearly denotes that particular flavor of that particular nakshatra.
Okay.
Yes.
So people with this nakshatra, like Hasta, we said hand, right?
Yes,
like,
yes.
and here, so any like how do these people correlate? How does this correlate with like let's say a movie example? Like in Titanic, we said the hand is very similar. Like you said here, they sort of that it's the shouting and all of those things.
Yes.
Any body part apart from that?
So Bahu, right? So it is primarily the shoulder. So the strength of the shoulder, and then fighting, arrows, thunder, lightning. So that is the typical scene which sort of.
So the environment also comes into
yes,
play.
environment also comes into play in this particular nakshatra kind of a thing.
Okay.
So hunter primarily talks about these Ardra nakshatra people are very, very connected with animals because there is a correlation with hunting. So any person who is pet lover, dog lover and those kind of things. So it's the animal is female dog.
Okay.
So the anybody who's extremely connected with animals, this nakshatra is very sort of connected.
Okay.
So you can find a lot of themes like conservator of forest, a forest
Veterinary
officer,
doctor.
veterinary doctor, and those kind of things.
Those kind of things
Yes,
are
so
very
those themes are reasonably very strong from a
profession perspective.
Ardra point of view.
Okay.
So, like what we said last time, there are two nakshatras who have a prefix Tiru. So one is Tiruvonam and one is Tiruvadirai. So
Right.
one is Vishnu, one is Shiva, Rudra, right? So these two nakshatras are very special from that perspective.
Perspective. Okay.
So and it is also related to Rudra is also related to carrying medicines and all that. So there are very few nakshatras who are related to medicines and healing. So we have spoken about a few like Shatabhishak, we have spoken about Ashwini nakshatra, we have spoken about Kritika nakshatra. So Tiruvadirai or Ardra is also another nakshatra which is connected to what do you call healing. It is connected to medicine kind of a thing. You have this form of Shiva Vaidyanath.
Right.
So Vaidyanath, that form is related to this Rudra kind of a thing.
So a veterinary doctor will do.
Just for an example kind of a thing. So names like for example Devi Shetty. Devi Shetty is related to Sadabhishak nakshatra.
Okay.
So you have B.M. Hegde. B.M. Hegde is his voice and his speaking, you can easily figure out he's related to Kritika nakshatra.
Okay.
So there will be 100% correlation. So if you look at the promoters of Kerala Ayurveda who are clients as well, so they would clearly relate to Ardra nakshatra.
Okay.
So this healing and for example, Kottakkal Ayurveda, PK Warrior, clearly related to Kritika nakshatra.
Okay.
So that the notion, and we spoke about the Sattvic nakshatras, right? So like Shravana and Uttarashada and all that. So Baba Ramdev clearly denotes that. So there is a beautiful correlation between
what they do
and this nakshatra kind of a thing. So from a healing perspective also, it is very strong, this particular nakshatra.
So they can then choose to be like Ayurveda, BAMS, all of those.
Yes.
Also,
they can look at Ayurveda as a career. They can look at healing as a career.
Yeah.
So and it's also in the third house of communication, right? And it is the sixth nakshatra, Ashwini Bharani Kartika. So it's the sixth nakshatra of healing, of medicine, service, and those kind of things. Enemies. So anything to do with hunting and those kind of things also is
that's very strong.
Theme is very strong. Kind of
Got it. So more planets in Ardra.
Yes.
Then you can also look at service and healing people as something that you can look at.
So for example, third house of communication, right? So anything to do with slightly music and related to communication. So these, so primarily Ardra is a storm. It's the Rudra brings about storm and windy and a change in the environment. So we can slightly say that it is pre that particular person era and post that particular person era. So that flavor is pretty strong. So some famous celebrities like Satya Sai Baba, so or Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara is believed to be Ardra Nakshatra. So you would notice Panchakshari, Shiva related to Panchakshari, written by many slokas written by Adi Shankara. So it is pre Adi Shankara and post Adi Shankara. So something like that is, so for example, third house of again music, so or communication, music kind of a thing. So you would notice Kurt Cobain. So it is alternate rock and post alternate post Kurt Cobain, right? So 27 years, and in 27 years he made a solid impact in terms of alternate rock.
Correct.
So that kind of a flavor is very strong from a Ardra. So it is like you have virus in your mobile, you reset the entire mobile and then bring back Android or Windows or whatever it is, and then that flavor is Ardra.
Okay.
So the entire resetting,
Resetting is
yes,
Ardra.
is that flavor is,
Transformation.
yes. So what we talked about cold, what we talked
Ah.
about excessive drinking,
Right.
and then antibiotics coming into place. So that flavor is a Ardra
Okay.
kind of a flavor.
Got it. So also Mercury being the ruler of
Yes,
this house?
communication. So communication, a slight bit of music and those kind of things.
Right.
That flavor is
Ardra
pretty,
Nakshatra.
yes, pretty strong
Okay.
in that particular
Okay.
this thing.
Got it. And the female dog being represented here,
Yes.
any other, like, what else can we talk about? Like from Migrashira, we said that,
Yes.
the eyebrows will be very
Yes.
thick. Like, is there anything with regards to animal? Like,
Yes, so this the laugh, the howling, the laughter style of this particular person is slightly different
Okay.
from that perspective. And Rahu being the ruler of that particular, so you can easily figure out this particular person's laughter who has
Okay.
Ardra Nakshatra. And that Rahu flavor brings in a lot of medicines. It brings in petroleum. It brings in oil and gas. That kind of. So you will find a lot of people in Exxon,
ONGC.
Mobil, ONGC, HPCL, IOCL. That kind of a flavor comes out
Very
reasonably
strong.
very strong from an
Ardra
Ardra
Nakshatra.
Nakshatra perspective kind of
Okay.
a thing. So we spoke about the third house of communication, right? So for example, R.K. Narayan, the writer, so
Right.
third house of hand, Bahu, and all
Ah.
that. So that flavor is also pretty strong, and this flavor of mimicry is
Okay.
also pretty strong.
Communication
Communication and mimicry and those kind of things are very very strong. So for example, the famous actor called Jairam in Kerala, Tamil and South Indian movies. So he comes from a mimicry background and then got into movies. He's a typical example of a Ardra kind of a nakshatra. So, and Ardra Nakshatra, there is a sort of, since it's a storm related to storm and all that, and 12th house from the moon, so the natural fourth house. So there is a separation from mother or family in the early childhood. So that kind of a flavor is also
So they
reasonably.
might have grown up with grandparents.
Yes,
or
yes. So if you
maybe
even if you
boarding school.
notice, pre B.R. Ambedkar, post B.R. Ambedkar,
Ah.
that kind of an era. And Ambedkar also lost his mom, sort of reasonably very early. So that kind of a flavor is very, very strong from an Ardra point of view.
Depending on what planets are placed.
Yes,
in.
yes.
Okay.
And so that thing, and then the relationship wise also, they are reasonably, there will be there could be strain in the relationship depending on the planets
Okay.
kind of a thing.
Because
For an
it being
Ardra.
nakshatra which brings transformation.
Yes, transformation kind of a thing.
Okay.
So unless the couples move into the same direction in terms of transformation, there could be issues related to relationships
So,
as well.
like what is the compatibility that we look at?
So-
I think we should look at our marriage compatibility.
Yes,
and then
yes, and try and figure out various other pointers
Right.
and try to get a suitable match.
if you are an Ardra Nakshatra.
Yes,
perspective. So, any more celebrities that we can take examples of for the
Yes,
Ardra?
there are plenty celebrities like Asha Parekh. Asha Parekh, she was probably the top actress at that point in time, 70s and 80s kind of a thing. So any movie wanted to cast, so Asha Parekh at that point in time. So in terms of third house of music, communication, and all that, we can talk about Taylor Swift.
Okay.
We can talk about Jagjit Singh. Although there is a question mark in terms of Jagjit Singh's timing. His eyebrows are also thick, so either it could be Mrigashira. Yeah. So but ghazals talk about Jagjit Singh and other ghazals. So that kind of a thing. So that kind of a flavor is also very strong from that perspective. Then we have, in terms of communication, we have our Sonia Gandhi as well. So that flavor is also pretty strong from this particular kind of a nature. So even Asha Parekh or Sonia Gandhi, what we talked about, in terms of relationship, the length of the relationship is also very clear. Asha Parekh is not married. Sonia Gandhi, the length of the relationship was small and those kind of things. So that flavor also sort of comes out reasonably strong from a Ardra Nakshatra point of view.
So, like Anand mentioned, this nakshatra brings in an element of transformation. Any person with planets in Ardra Nakshatra has a ability to transform things. Like Anand mentioned, pre-era and post-era, right? Like for example, pre-Ambedkar and post-Ambedkar. Like that is one example that he gave. So all of this brings transformation, pre-nirvana, post-nirvana, right? So all of anything that you see where there is transformation involved is related to the Ardra Nakshatra. If you would, and also another thing is, if you would like to know more about relationship compatibility with Ardra Nakshatra, because for this one nakshatra, it is important that you get your horoscope matched. You can check our matchmaking product, or if you would like a consultation with us, do log on to jyotishi.com. Thank you.